All right, we're having a lot of like technical difficulties tonight. Give us a second. We are live now again. We have audio. Let's just bring some people in. All right, Joel, come on in here. We're talking about Keco's 5-day training. We've got Joel Langdon, who posts as Oli Oli Paints on all the platforms. Yep. Really talented technician and painter. Yeah, I'm really glad you got to make it out here.
Oh, dude, this is out of my wheelhouse, but it's so fun.
But you're having fun.
I'm glad I'm in good company because without you guys here, I'd be a fish out of water. But it's a good time.
Really appreciate it. I mean, it's good to have you here, and it's good to have other creators here because you can all collaborate and make some cool stuff while we're here.
Exactly.
But I mean, we're here to learn. And did you learn anything today?
Dude, yeah, I'm honestly ready to go back and fix blend ends.
Like,
that's why I hate blend ends. So this is definitely one of those things that I'm gonna add to my tool bag and just keep pushing with it. Like, yeah, it's fun being around you guys. Different vibe for sure.
Yeah, so we talked about day one, learning the tools, all the different stuff. You got a good feel of that type of stuff, right?
Yep. Well, and like learning what each tab does, and then learning how to approach the process of cleaning everything. And that was a game changer for me, because now when I look at my GPR setup, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? For the most part, like I have a better understanding of like, okay, I need this tab for this or that tab for this. This does that.
Yeah, well, we got free reign to create the high spots. We got to use whatever tab we wanted and stuff. So it kind of gives you an idea of when you're snapping or using different tabs, what kind of dents it creates or what it will or won't do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the difference between like the flexible blue tabs or the ice tabs, and like knowing that the ice are rigid and the blue are flexible, and like what they're going to do. And it's a lot to take in, but like I told you guys when I got here, I'm a sponge.
Yeah.
I'm soaking it all up.
There was really some great info today. I mean, learning that a tab, where it's going to effectively pull versus how big it actually is, changed my knowledge of glue pulling entirely.
Well, and like when I first started messing with it, it's like I thought you needed to cover the dent when you're doing tab selection, not thinking that you need to see around that still. And then that was the big change for me, because I watched it on my hood, pull it up, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, I pulled that low up and now it matches, and then you just blend around. And game changer.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, glue pulling changed my life, and I'm having fun watching it change yours.
Yeah.
And others as we're here, because it's just, who doesn't want to share knowledge like that when it can benefit somebody,
Well, it's cool because I feel like that's our middle ground, because as auto body techs, you know how there's always body versus paint shop.
Yeah.
It's inevitable a lot of the time, but glue pulling and PDR is kind of that middle ground where it's like, okay, like I really appreciate PDR and glue pull, and so does the body side. So it's like, okay, we can meet there, share knowledge, and then it just makes the transition to getting it finished paint that much easier.
I mean, it does make sense for the painters to understand more of the body work, and for the body men to understand more of the paint work.
Well, it makes you appreciate each other's job,
right? And the issues that we all deal with. Nothing's easy in this trade. There's not one easy part. Even the guy that's buffing and detailing, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So,
well, it gives me more respect too for what you guys do, because I sit there and watch it, and I'm like, man, like the thought process is really what I'm picking up on, because I'll watch you do something, then I'll watch you do something. You guys do it different.
Oh yeah,
but it's the same result.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, okay. So then I'm on the outside looking in, going, I'm going to blend both of those, and I have my own way.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's way cool.
So a lot of people ask, we get questions like, what tools should I buy? What should you go and do? And going from out there now to going to where Danny was explaining tabs and theories, how important do you think that was, stepping out here versus if you just skipped that totally and went straight to tools?
I feel like it's a lot like paint. Like you would buy all of this stuff thinking you need all of it, but you don't. It's like you can start with a basic kit, basic setup, get rolling, and then decide along the way, yeah, that'd be cool to have, but it's not necessary. You know what I mean? And you find out what you need. And that's like here, I found out that I really need a good knockdown, and we got that now. And, that was the biggest thing, is I needed a solid knockdown set with various tips,
Mm.
because I have glue tabs, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just need 10 or 12 various sizes
Mm-hmm.
for the majority of the stuff I need. I don't need a big, huge setup, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's more tools doesn't mean better. It's what are you working on? You need the right tools for what you're working on.
Trying to match the shape of the dent with what you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't have certain, you have to work around things. But when you do have it as a set or however you have it, it's just.
Yeah. What?
Danny Hacker says painters are the enemy.
This shirt.
He's right over there, by the way. Commenting. He could just shout that in, but no, you had to type it in there.
Yes, he's got paint guns in his toolbox. I see how it goes.
Segolas too, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's you definitely don't want that whole body versus paint thing.
Yeah.
So no, understanding more of what each other do is fine. And I'm glad that you noticed that he and I do think different, because that's one of my favorite parts about our friendship and our partnership here is we do everything differently.
Totally different.
Bro, it's no different than me and other painters.
Yeah.
But it's online. You'll get into arguments with guys, and it's like, oh, that's the wrong way to do it. And it's like, no, like there's 1,000 different roads to get to the same destination. Just pick one. One might be faster than the other, but
pick one you like, one you're comfortable with, and just stick with that.
Yeah, what's working for you and what's efficient.
Yeah.
And keep your mind open to new techniques, new ideas. Somebody comes by and tells you something, and you're like, maybe try it. If it doesn't work, go back to your way. But maybe it will work.
That's the beauty of the internet. And what we do, though, as content creators, it's like I'll share a simple trick. Hey, try this. So, like, for example, in the paint realm, melting a edge of sealer with reducer. You know how many people told me that was wrong, and then they started doing it, and they went, holy shit, this works. I'm like, see, there's a million ways to get there, but just choose your way. It's just,
you don't need sealer, right?
Yeah. Oh man, that's another conversation. Sealer's unnecessary. Okay, that's why RR took you 9 coats.
Yeah. I've had some situations where I was asked to always fully prime used doors, and I have a feeling it's because somebody was deciding not to seal anything. Why do I have to do that then? So different topic. Not talking about that.
GPR.
Yeah, GPR. So glue pulling. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, you looking forward to the next 4 days?
Oh, dude, I'm ready to get on the push tools. I'm excited about that, because I have a little bit of experience with glue pulling, but I've never played with rods. So I'm excited for tomorrow to really get to push. And that's another. I mean, it's another thing that I can watch both of you guys use rods and your decisions on rods, and really see the difference. So it's like we're in a body shop. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Compressor going on. There's tools everywhere. There's technical difficulties. Yeah.
It's Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Well, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. I'm out.
I'll
You
see you
better
in
get
5
Ryan
minutes.
in here. Yeah. I'm going to go over here and drink my sippy. There you go, Ryan.
Yep. So, I mean, it was really cool to have a painter come in who really had no glue pulling knowledge and watch him start to do this kind of stuff. And no gluing, he had some glue pulling knowledge. He just said that, but no formal training. So very cool.
Now you get someone that has no idea what they're doing at all.
It's not true at all. Hey, come closer. You're very close. Yeah. So this is Ryan, Turbo Durbin, posts under Resto House, or
It's a Turbo Resto House. I don't remember which it is. It's one or the other. It's a good question.
Type in some of that and you'll find him.
Yeah, Ryan Durbin, you'll find him somewhere.
Restoration specialist, have multiple cars, a SEMA. Really impressive work, especially for the amount of time you've been doing this. You've been doing this less than I have. Your own business.
Yep. It's been a kind of a change of pace, because originally started off doing boats, offshore race boat paint jobs, and then went to a classic car studio and started doing the high-end restorations and resto mods there, and then went to collision, and then went off on my own. So that's kind of where we are. And now I'm trying to learn what you guys do.
Getting into the glue pull.
Getting glue pull, and that is totally different than everything I deal with is bare metal. So we're trying to not have to go that far if we don't have to on things, which is
right.
neat.
Right. Let's see. Alex asked, will he have a car at SEMA this year? One you can look out for.
There's a good chance. I can't say nothing about it yet, but there might be kind of an off the wall one coming this year. I have to go to Maine possibly to help a buddy out up there, but if we do,
give him a follow. He'll talk about it on his TikTok or whatever. He's good about that. So, yeah. I have to tell you, I really love your response to haters on TikTok, because that was one of the things that got me a lot of attention. And I'm watching yours and going, yeah, I can get along with this guy. just putting people in their place, but not negatively. It's more of, no, you're wrong. This is the right way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just proving yourself right without proving someone else wrong. You're not proving them wrong. You're proving yourself right. And I really respect that. So.
I appreciate it. And I think the biggest thing always comes down to, like we were talking earlier in my professional career, it's always, he's too young to know anything. It's always like kicking the kid kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then people come to think that years necessarily equate to knowledge, which isn't always the case.
Absolutely not.
Doesn't have to be.
It helps.
And like what Joel said, be a sponge, learn as much as you can. I was fortunate enough that I got to learn from Tyler Krause hands-on at the refinery and all that kind of stuff. So that all really, really, really helped. So just absorb as much as you can. Like I said, come in with the idea that you don't know what you're doing and try to learn everything, which what I'm trying to do this week. I know nothing about the glue pulling or PDR side. So this is all, I'm as green can get with this, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
Plus you guys are awesome to help with Danny. Teach us.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. We're not doing any PDR here. We're doing GPR. So
see, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like I asked Joel, day one when we come through, and a lot of people ask us, what kind of tools do you want to use? What do you what's the best ones to buy? So if we skipped this morning thing that Danny went through, theory, and just went straight out here, how do you think that would have benefited you versus knowing all that and coming out here, confidence level wise?
Oh, I would have totally messed all that up because I didn't even realize that the different colored tabs meant different things. Also, they're all totally opposite what you think. Like, again, me being what I do, I figured I would have had, if I was doing over bare metal, I would have had to sand the bare metal to get a key for the glue to adhere. That is totally backwards. You want it as smooth and slick as possible for the glue to stick. So, yeah, it would have been real bad.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm most worried about is going to be like tomorrow doing the pushing side of things.
Worried?
I think that's going to be the biggest struggle, I guess, is what I mean by that.
Okay.
The knockdown, I wasn't super worried about that because that kind of translates really over to the hammer or the planishing and the hammer and dollying, especially when we like take panels on. We're always knocking down high spots, so that I felt more comfortable with that. The pushing side is going to be new because we never really push. We're hammer, dolly, planishing, hammer.
Okay, I understand.
Pick, that kind of thing.
So what do you think about the knockdown selection that we had as far as getting to use different ones and seeing like what they do?
The bigger the tip does not necessarily mean the blunter it is. Look at the some of those big ones you think are super blunt. You hold it up and you look, and there's that little radius to it, and you'll get those little peck marks like I was getting a lot today.
Yep.
Go smaller, and you were avoiding that, which was
that's right. I was telling you with the details, get to a smaller knockdown.
Yeah, and I was thinking go bigger. It's going to flatten more of it out evenly, and that was totally wrong.
This is so fun to watch somebody learn this stuff. It really is.
It was definitely
it's amazing.
But like I said, you translate that to the hammer on dolly techniques and stuff when we're planishing out. You have a big surface area, a big dolly that's matching the radius of the panel, and you have a hammer on the opposite side. When you're hammering and dollying that out, and that's how you're smoothing it out. If you went with a little pick on one side, you would have destroyed the metal. But on this is like the opposite. So it was really neat to have guys that are like, no, you're doing that wrong. Do it this way. And holy crap.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah, real quick.
Helps a lot. I mean, all the practice I put into PDR and then 2 weeks in-person training with somebody who actually knew what they were doing. Totally, like, it was like getting months of practice,
Dude,
in
this
2 weeks.
Day alone was like,
yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that.
I think the biggest thing about this too is how we can correlate this over to the restoration side of things is what you guys proved today with how much metal you can move with glue
and the amount of force it takes to actually move it.
So like with that, like in my thought process, like we said earlier, was every car we get, it's smashed in the tail pan at some point in its life. So now we're going to replace tail pan, we're going to replace the rear floor pan and everything else. Or are we going to be able to now to glue pull that damn thing out, do some hammer and dolly work on these old cars and save ourselves a lot of intrusive repairs. And I think I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to save myself a lot of time on tail panels and
Hell yeah.
floor pans. That'd be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, this is definitely goes not only to collision side. I think we can really roll this over into the restoration, resto-mod, custom side of things by far.
What's up, Andy? Case, thanks for coming
What's
in.
going on?
Danny Hacker, teamwork makes the dream work. That's right.
Yeah, it does.
Case says it's amazing what glue can do for you.
Yeah, I like that.
Did you do that on purpose, Case?
When in doubt, glue
Did
pull it
you
out.
just want to hear me say that?
When in doubt, glue pull it out. Yeah.
When in
When in
doubt,
doubt, bigger. See, when in doubt,
Oh,
bigger hammers.
goodness.
What I think. So
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
No, it is amazing what glue can do, and I know you're going to use glue in the future, but I think the pushing tools are going to change your life.
I think so too. I think that's just where I'm going to struggle the most, but that's a good thing. I want to challenge.
Mm.
You know, and
Yeah,
if we're not getting better every day and learning something new, then we're moving backwards.
I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be transformative for you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so
Absolutely.
too. I mean, you learned a lot just in the theory this morning, coming out here and being confident. You know, knocking down and getting to know what you can and can't do with the tools.
And it's crazy to think just in that little bit of time, you know, say the 8 dents that I put in the panel and got out today, I could see the progression just in those 8, which is pretty crazy to see a progression in my mind. Something, even though they weren't big, but something that quick that you can just focus on. I did this wrong, that one. Let's change it this time. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Did you use the same tab each time, or did you?
No, I was trying different ones. I did go bigger and bigger every time. That last one was, that tab.
He was huge. Yeah, he was big.
Just to see what it would kind of.
I kind of broke the tab, or stretched the
Yeah,
tab.
he stretched the
He
tab a
laughed
little
at me
bit.
because I thought I was going to pop. It didn't pop. But the tab just stretched. I'm like, oh, that's a pointy one.
Yeah, the smaller tabs, they only work so many times. But
Yeah.
no, you put a big high spot in there, and it looked good when you were done.
And that's what's crazy too is you think on the metal side of things, that much has happened. Oh, I have to heat shrink the crap out of that. I didn't think we could push that metal out and cold shrink it in that sense. So that's a totally different game change here.
Cold shrink.
Cold shrink.
Because
Yeah.
you really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
And it didn't make a large crown around it, which I thought in my mind was going to happen. And as we push that down, it was going to stress the metal. It was going to push it outward, but it didn't. So that was still really strange to me too.
It's a new thing.
It is. You have to come with a whole fresh mindset.
Yeah.
Which
And you did. You came with a fresh mindset. And how hard was it to get the glue to stick? Actually, did you have to try it a few times, get it, or did that theory part you just ran right out here and done it?
just did what they said on the little
Yeah.
card. And it,
Yeah. So the theory,
you clean it.
Yep.
You clean the tab. You heat it. You heat the tab. You glue it. You stick it. You let it sit till it hits 75 to 85, and then I had to fight to get the damn tabs off.
It
after
really
that. They
is
would not
that
come
simple.
off.
It really
is
that simple.
that
Just
simple.
read the card.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all there for you. It's all set up. The work's done. All you have to do is just apply those steps, and they work.
6 C's, baby. 6 C's.
Yeah, the 6 C's. Yep.
work.
Yep. Can you tell me what they are?
Hell no, not yet.
Neither. All right, I don't think I can either.
I know the last one was continue.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely
Yeah,
continue.
Yeah. No, I have a little bit of studying on that as well. I mean, over the time, I've created kind of my own little process, which uses mostly the Keco process. Basically, what you said, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And their 6C process is really meant to train you to where you just got.
Right.
So I mean, when it comes to they include tab selection and things like that. So those are important steps, but I mean, you're going to be doing that without even thinking later.
Right.
I mean,
that's how
all
it
of
got
the
there.
steps.
I wasn't, every time I saw it then, I wasn't thinking, oh, I have to remember to do it. It's like,
Nope. Clean.
it's common
heat,
sense. Why would I
heat,
not
glue.
clean it? Nothing's going to stick without being clean. Like it
Right.
really did fall in place really easy.
Yeah.
And like I said, they did not want to come off after that. So people saying glue don't work.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
you moved some metal today.
Yeah,
So
and it will.
some
It will.
structural metal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right, Case. The system works if you work it. Jeff
Yeah.
Hughes says, as long as the paint holds. And I have to tell you, over these years of glue pulling, it just, unless you're working with some crappy, horribly
seen some of the
applied
ones we're dealing
aftermarket
with?
paint, the paint adheres. The only time I pulled paint off is really on really crappy like Keco paint jobs, and that's only happened like once. To
I mean,
me,
some of these says you can see they've got
They're-
some dry blends and shit all over.
Yeah,
them, and
they're
it's still
repainted.
haven't
they're
pulled anything.
repainted.
At
Yeah.
least,
This
at
isn't
least
pristine,
once.
pristine factory.
No.
No,
paint.
and we were
These are
ripping
dry
tabs off.
sprayed, clear blended stuff, and it's still I haven't pulled paint yet.
Right.
Now, there's
right.
one spot where paint was cracked because it pulled that hard when we were trying to make the dents to fix after the fact.
Mhm.
But no, we didn't pull any paint anywhere, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's great. No, it's I've never had that issue. So yeah, it does speak to the fact of how well paint adheres. I would
Yeah.
like to mention that. That's
Which goes
pretty
to
amazing.
show when you have peelers, how bad of a job did they really do to
Seriously.
make it peel that bad?
Something went horribly
Jeez.
wrong. Yeah, because
Yeah, 'cause we've really put some pressure on some of these hoods today, and like you
Continuous over
said,
and
they
over.
were not the best looking quality.
No.
So I mean, yeah, you got to do next to nothing to get them to peel and know all that. I would
Mhm.
assume.
Yep. You might not want to do this on like really fresh paint.
No,
I
you
could
know?
see that. I could totally see that.
I've found that if it's 24 hours old, you can, but don't pop the tabs off. You do it to a point where you're taking them off manually.
I also think that for guys talking about the older car stuff, I don't think I would try this on lacquer. Only for the reason that
Probably
lacquer
not.
never truly dries. Air travels through it. That's why we can't paint over with our modern urethane systems, because it seals it, and that's why they end up delaminating off them, because air is trying to travel through the lacquer and it pushes that urethane. So I don't think I would try it on lacquer. Maybe, I don't know. Hey Danny, you got anything here with lacquer?
Well, I mean, when you, I'm assuming you're going to have a set after this day training.
Oh yeah,
The
just
full,
deciding how big of a set. I want
Well,
all of it.
Chris White will be happy to hear that. He says paint is the real MVP. I have to agree. It really is.
Yeah.
Without that paint adhering, we couldn't do any of this stuff. So
I'm excited to try this on bare metal too, because I mean, still all my stuff's gonna be bare metal just because the cars we're doing. So I'm excited to see how it acts on that and being able to, like Danny said, he was able to polish up some spots of bare metal in the past, so you can visually see it like it was clear.
polish it, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, he said he brought it up to what 1200 and buff the bare metal,
1200 and buffed it.
and
yeah.
then he could see it like clear, and he was able to work it like that, which that would be
Interesting.
great for me.
I mean, I've always, if I need to pull on bare metal, I mean, usually the damage is so big that you don't really need a light, you know. So I've
Right.
taken a cookie wheel, just cookie wheeled it, and that's smooth enough for me to
Right.
get the pull I need. But that's impressive knowing that if you need to, you can go to that.
Which I think is how I'm
level.
going to use it most, because all my cars, you know, they go to bare metal, everything and then gets
Oh, sure.
blasted, and then we epoxy and all that. But if I can do this and fix the real known issues after stripping a car down before it's ever even epoxied,
Mhm.
at that point,
Mhm.
the car is ready for filler work and then primer and then on to paint, and we just saved
So
weeks.
much, and did a higher quality repair.
Yeah.
You know, and you
Yeah.
can feel good about
less
that.
hammer marks on the inside of the door skin and stuff
Yep.
like that you have to fix then later.
Yeah, no, it's very
Secondary
cool.
damage, baby.
The
I'm,
least intrusive damage
Got it.
Yeah,
is the best way.
absolutely. No, I'm super excited to watch you to learn this week. So
I'm excited to see what all I can mess up.
Yeah, taking this knowledge and applying it to restoration and you know,
Because the guy seems off the wall, dude. It doesn't seem like that's really been a common thing yet, which I think it should be. I think we can make that transition, which
yeah,
I'm excited to see if we can do it. That'd be awesome.
yeah, especially since you're not even in collision. You're in
Right.
resto.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's playing with collision.
That's what I mean.
resto. You could change the world.
That.
You could no, you could. I mean, I've already I consider myself small time social media, and the amount of people that let me know how much they've learned from my videos, it's pretty amazing.
Mhm.
So I mean, you can do the same.
Oh, and the way, I mean, and like I said, I was in a collision shop, and I can already tell just from this one day of trading, I guarantee I could have increased my production time for flag hours just from today back in the collision shop.
There you go.
just
Undoubtedly.
Woo! Yep. On that note, I will let all of you know that there are some spots open for the August 5-day training here in Keco in Oklahoma. I highly recommend it. It's actually 4 spots. There are 4 spots open.
left.
And I'll let you know, Keco is 15 minutes from the airport here. There's plenty of places to stay. There are Airbnbs, there are hotels and stuff. It's easy. It's super easy.
Mhm.
You don't even need to get a rental car. You could Uber everywhere. Everything's so close.
And so far, some pretty decent food.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wherever we went last night,
Brick Town.
yeah, that it.
Yeah, Danny Hacker changed my life. Yep, yep. That's right, Case. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, brothers.
Good
I
to have
appreciate
you.
you guys inviting me.
Yep.
See you in a little
Peace.
bit. We got to play with some new tools today,
Some really awesome new tools.
and we're not allowed to talk about them.
Absolutely not.
But I got to tell you guys, there's some exciting stuff coming. So make sure to stay tuned to my channel, Nick's channel, Keco's channel, Ryan's channel, Joel's channel. Car Repair USA is here somewhere.
He's here.
Eldar, and
Eldar.
you make sure you pay attention to his channel as well. This is it's some really cool stuff. Scott, we're being quiet. Don't worry. But there's nothing wrong with creating some hype for Keco. You know,
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Danny, you want to come in? Take a seat? Nope. I don't know if he wants to. We had Danny on a few weeks ago. We won't waste too much of your time here.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
There's Scott with the zipped up
Oh
mouth.
no, I'm going to let the cat out the bag right now. That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm known for.
Yeah.
Well, it
Get
is what
excited,
if you
man.
do
I
it.
love tools.
I'm not in trouble, so.
I
Yeah.
love tools.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
in this industry love new tools?
I have a serious tool addiction. I
Yeah.
will say.
Yeah.
You got to have one of each, and sometimes two,
Two,
maybe
three,
even three.
Or
three.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, as you see, the apparatus we set up on that quarter panel. Whew,
Oh yeah.
Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devices
5 devices.
on one pull
That's right.
at once.
Mhm.
It was pretty intense, but
you guys will be releasing that Friday.
yeah.
Is that
You
yeah?
got videos,
Friday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
we
footage.
we've been told that we're allowed to tell you guys on Friday. So
Stay
if you
tuned.
don't follow me, Nick, Danny, Keco yet, make sure to go do that because otherwise you're gonna miss out.
What are
Jeff
some of these comments?
says, Danny. Alex says, is a tool addiction really a problem?
For my wife.
It depends. When you start buying things that you're not going to use.
Yeah. Just
Or-
to complete a set of tools, and you really don't need that set. Yeah.
Case is looking in. Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm having a blast here. This is really, I really am. I can't, this week's going to fly by.
Yeah.
It
It'll
really
fly by.
is.
We kind of went pretty quick today.
We did go quick today.
You know,
I think
we're
we
like,
skipped some
let's
steps."
focus on knockdown. Before you know it, we're doing large smash, which is fine. It's cool to throw the wrench in the mix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we got to dial it back in a little bit tomorrow.
That's fine.
Start from the ABCs, and then we can.
Yeah, we did some crazy polling at the
Yeah.
end of the day. I feel like at the end of the day, we were all kind of like, let's do something really fun, you know? Like,
To
we've
end the
been-
day with, let's just get
Yeah.
all this out there.
And we did, you know, and we'll do it again. But yeah, no, definitely the basics and the repetition.
That's it. Man.
That's what it's about. The metal time. You got to get in that metal time to just gain that experience. And
Absolutely.
I mean, it's with anything, the auto body, painting, GPR, PDR. It's all about practice.
With the repetition.
Time
That's the
flies when you're having fun. That is absolutely true. I would be home in no time then because this has been a blast. And we got an Airbnb. I got all these creators. We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out and drinking or not drinking and and you know it's been really great.
Yeah.
And the house is great too.
House is great. It's
Food's been great.
Food's been great. I mean, he says it's debatable, but
No,
Yeah.
it's good.
It's
it-
good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's really
So
good.
here's the deal. Chris has spoiled me on some of the most fine dining.
Mm.
So now I'm kind of ruined.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it
All
is.
right. And then I get home, my wife's like, hey, I made this deal. I'm like, man, you should have had this 4-star or 5-star dish we just had.
I hope she's not watching.
So you're on
Is she
you're on the
watching?
you're on the bougie end of food now.
Case
Oh,
Ryan,
can't you
wish
tell?
I were there. Yeah, we wish you were here too, Case. Well, maybe next time. I can't imagine that this is my last time to Keco.
No.
No,
We'll
definitely
have you guys
not.
back,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
it's been good, man. Just watching you go around and like showing Ryan and Joel a lot of the techniques and walking them through the theory and just watching them go from that first dent, and kind of just learning the tool to maybe the seventh or eighth one that they had pulled, how much better they had done it.
They're right there.
And really, how long from, what was it, just a few hours,
Just
really?
a few hours. Just a
Yeah.
few hours.
And then
Just
you
a
were
few hours.
going around giving us good dents.
Yeah.
Proper dance, right?
Yeah.
As Kevin would say.
Oh,
Proper
okay,
dents.
all right. Proper dents.
Proper dance.
Two Bills hacker.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I was going to ask you.
Two Bills hacker.
Is that how much your lunch cost? $2
I hope not. Oh, is that what Chris said?
That's what Chris said. Yeah.
No.
Oh
My
boy.
per diem is at $60.
Oh, he says
Oh.
he's fat.
Two Bills hacker.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
200.
200.
Ooh, no, 195. Not there yet.
Not there yet.
Not there yet.
That's fine. It's a lot
Go
healthier.
get
to
the
be-
scale. Go get the
You go-
scale. Go get one.
we gotta
195.
settle this right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott's laughing over here. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, so we got what's the plan? So we're doing push tools tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we'll start off with some small dense gluing.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to glue,
Okay.
and then that high that it might create, we're going to knock that down. Then
Okay.
we're going to move to push tools.
Mhm.
Now, like these guys said, they're super excited to get into push tools. What they're going to understand is that it's really hard to
Mm.
find your tip underneath the panel.
Can I ask how you're going to do that?
With the push tools?
How you're going to teach them to
What's
find
the
their tip?
theory behind it?
Okay, so, and this is not like best practice, but it's really the only way in the beginning.
It's just a basic theory.
It's the basic theory and what
Okay.
you got to do
Okay.
to find your tip. So we're going to use a soft tip. We're not going to use a sharp tip,
Mm.
but you're going to have to add a little pressure, drag your tip to the center. That's the only way you're going to be able to know exactly where your tip's at the beginning. It's
Okay.
the only way.
Okay.
You got a little pressure, drag it. Now we're going to use a soft tip so it doesn't scratch up the E-coat.
Mhm.
If I was using like an R4 and I was dragging, guess what? I'm
Mm.
cutting in all the E-coat on the backside, but we're going to use like a pivot tip or a cherry tip
Mm.
so that way we can find our tip.
That's about an R4. If you guys were wondering that don't know.
And a cherry cap is a red soft tap that fits right on top of that.
And that allows them to find their tip. That's the only way. They're not going to be able to stick it under there and find the center. It's just, that's repetition, that's time, that's years of doing it.
Oh yeah,
So the only
absolutely.
way to find the tip is to slightly drag just a
Mhm.
little bit.
And I noticed you had some leverage tools over there. I mean, are you going to give any kind of with that, or are you just going to let them create their own little creation and see what they do with it? Or
No, we'll use that little hook with the little top piece on it. It has the
Mhm.
little ring in it, so you
Yeah.
stick your tool through.
Yeah.
Be able to get the leverage.
okay,
Now, the way these stands are set up, you'll be able to leverage off of the stand as well.
okay, all
I
right.
noticed that.
Now, we're going to use a decent sized push tool,
Mhm.
right? Because you want 3/4 of the tool hanging out for leverage. If the tool's short, we're going to be pushing too hard. You're going to be slipping, creating that corn roll.
Mhm.
How many times have we seen that?
Yeah,
I've heard it
So-
called a snail trail.
Snail trail.
Yeah,
whatever you
snail
wanna call
trail.
it.
snail trail,
Yeah.
cornroll.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's the name I like, and it's now I'm gonna hate that name every time I do it.
Yeah.
So
So, in the process of that is we are going to create tight little spirals all the way out to the end because we're not going to get under there because what we want, a lot of body guys, instant, results.
Mhm.
Get under there. No.
yeah.
That's
That's not how it works.
not
at
how
least
it
not in the
works.
beginning.
That's not how it works. So we're going to
but-
create the spiral, connect our pushes all the way out to the end, come back to the center again, repeat that.
Mm.
Now, your spiral's not going to be perfect. Nobody's is, right?
Hey,
Well-
Cass, how you doing?
We do want to keep that repetition of keeping a spiral so you don't create another thing,
Yeah,
corn rolls
absolutely.
within the dent. So when you cross check it,
Yep.
now you see those highs through it
Mhm.
because the light's not going to catch
Mm.
a straight high like this. Right? It's
Mm,
going to
yeah.
look good until you cross check it, and then you're going to see that big high right down the center, and they're going to be like, "Oh, what did I do wrong?"
Yeah,
Right.
and then
So,
you're gonna have to continue
Yeah.
at a different angle, and that's gonna be something that Joel and Ryan and maybe myself and Stefan we're
Hey, Krishna.
doing the practicing and getting this honed in. How long does it take for just somebody brand new to come in and never found the tip, don't know what tools to use, to being able to push something up to a decent level
by the end of the day.
by the end of the
By
day?
the end of the day, if they
Okay.
stick to it,
Yeah.
it's monotonous.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's like boot camp.
Mhm.
You get to the point where you're just kind of, sometimes you got to get up and walk away for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
becomes
That can
monotonous.
really help. Just
Yeah.
clearing your mind,
walk
getting
away,
a fresh eyes on
come
the
back.
problem. Yeah, whole new thing. We got John Vidine coming in saying, "Hey, we were watching you earlier. Thanks for
Yep,
coming
I
in."
stepped in, checked you out, John. How you doing?
Krishna wants to know if this process is economic to the customer.
Meaning time wise or
So,
material wise or
I mean, financially for the customer. So I would like to say that it really doesn't affect the customer at all, except that they're going to have a car back with a higher quality repair. So
Yeah.
that's where the customer gets their benefit, is that they know that their car has been repaired in a way that's another level of quality, and the warranty is going to adhere. You know, they're not going to have to bring the car back under warranty. So it's
yeah, and
That's
it depends
really
on the
where it
technician
is.
too. I mean, honestly, I'm transparent as you can get. It depends on the technician you should bring it to, right? Because we all know not every tech's the same. Not every tech has the same worldview of doing a proper repair,
sure.
and there's a lot of cutting and buffing.
Yeah,
Okay? If
sure.
we're doing a ton of cutting and buffing, then basically what we're doing is we're taking away your UV protection, which is the clear coat.
Mhm.
We're cutting that down really thin just to clean up some of our work. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a quality technician, then yeah, I mean, it might cost you a little more.
Yeah,
As a consumer, it might
Okay.
cost you a little
Okay.
more.
that's another viewpoint.
Right?
That's another. But I guess from the average point of view, like if you had to cut and weld a quarter panel on, if we can take the glue and pull this stuff
Oh, yeah.
back into shape,
Oh, yeah.
and take some of those dent tools, like because we have soft tips, rubber tips that's not damaging and scratching the backside. We're really creating, like he said earlier, the higher quality of repair, and I would say that that part would be more economical
Yeah.
for a
Oh,
customer
yeah.
in that,
Yeah.
in
We
that
can save
regard.
from cutting a panel off, and which honestly, I go in a lot of shops and
So sure, yeah. I mean, if the customer's paying for the repair themselves, they
Yeah.
could save some money by having their stuff repaired rather than
For
replaced.
sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's the same way it saves the insurance company money in most collision work.
Uh-huh.
So no, I'm going to say yes. This does make it more economical for the
For sure.
customer. So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you very much, Kristen. Thanks for coming in. Oh, he says, how much time and money can you save by a workshop? Well, that's I'd say the more you do the glue pulling, the more you'll save, because the better you'll be at it, the faster you'll be at it. So that makes the shop more money because they can turn a higher profit.
You're not using much material as well. So.
Yeah, you're cutting your material cost drastically just by making some of these big pulls with glue.
But you got to get familiar with it.
You got to get
Here's the
familiar
deal,
with it.
guys that just start off glue pulling, just use it for a couple of repairs, and are like, it's not for me. Well, those are good. I mean, there's going to come a crossroads where those guys are going to either sink or swim. Because that's where it's going.
Yeah.
If you don't jump on it and you learn it, just like you learned anything else, welding, sectioning, anything like that, if you don't learn it now, you're going to be behind in the future. So you got to learn it. Regardless if you want to or not, you have to learn how to glue pull.
You agree with that statement, Case? Glad to hear it.
Nice.
Glad to hear it. Daniel Krause, what's going on, man?
How
Nice
you
of you to
doing?
come in. You know, I realized, Daniel, I've been sharing all your repair videos on Smash Masters. I was going through the Smash Masters page, and here's Daniel Krause repair. Here's the Daniel Krause repair.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do great videos, so it's hard not to share them. But yeah, I just realized I should give some other people some shares. I think I've shared your stuff more than my own.
There was 3 in a row, I think. that
Yeah,
shared
there
about
were. I
it.
was like, oh man. But happy to share that. Jeff, lateral tension with the big pulls is the way to go in today's repair.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
the only way.
it's lateral tension can help move metal every time.
No.
Whether or not it's worth the time to, is per the dent, sometimes it might not be worth it to set up a whole
you
lateral
tell,
tension.
though. You'll know. If it's a softie, you'll know it's a softie.
Yeah.
Right. If it's coming out quick, you're
know,
good.
Just by looking at it. You'll know right off the bat, okay, the only way that I'm going to get this out is with lateral tension.
Right. Absolutely. No problem, Dan.
Yeah, speaking of lateral tension, though, you got the K-bar. It's been out for a few months now. How has that been working?
The K-Power?
The K-Power.
honestly, I used to be kind of afraid of aluminum
Yeah.
before we had the K power.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, it's aluminum dent, dude. It's
Mm.
Gonna be tough.
It's pretty mangled up. But with lateral tension, I mean,
Mhm.
dude, the confidence. Like, I know it's going to move now
Yeah.
because of lateral tension. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the key. It's that secret sauce, if you will.
Yep.
When dealing with anything, because you're just creating that natural tension back in the panel. Like, you know, if you got like right here, you know, if I got a dent, no different than this sheet, all I'm doing is just stretching it back out.
Right.
You know, putting that original tension back into the panel.
Yep.
That's all we're doing.
So setup time on that K.
That's what really makes it shine.
Yeah,
Because it's easy.
I think so
It's
too.
quick. It's fast.
Yeah.
All right. 2 tabs. Hook it up. Put your shoes on. Add some tension. You're done.
Mhm.
It's not going to take tons and tons of glue to glue them tabs down. I mean, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
Fast.
I've also learned that honestly, the lateral tension, if you're not doing a heavy lateral tension, you can get away with less glue.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've had people tell me that they're even using the melt pots, and they're using the reused glue on the lateral tension.
Not going to hate on it.
I mean, if that was working,
It's working.
that's great. You know, you can save money.
The glue pot was a little bit ahead of its time, I think. I think now is when
Now,
you
once
really
everybody
appreciate
really
something like
understands
that.
how much
Yeah,
tension
I
they
think
need.
a lot of people were disappointed by the little tabs, you know, straight pulls, and the power of the glue. Once you remelt it, it's lost its properties, so it's not going to work the same. But
Here's the deal, though. I mean, once you use glue for a certain amount of time, you know how much tension you need and how much power you need.
Mhm.
Right.
It becomes like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think about it anymore. You're like, okay, this is pretty soft. I can just glue a tab on there. It'll be fine.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Boom, good.
Yes,
Good.
I think I'm going to pick up one of those melt glue pots and start
Try it.
playing with
I
my
mean, yeah,
glues.
sure,
Yeah.
try it.
Especially for lateral tension. I know it will work there. Dan says, I got a nasty one I'm in the middle of. Super stretch dent, center of the door, hot box time. Is it aluminum, Daniel? I'll tell you, I just did that video. It was about a month ago. The blue Chevy door where I did the Keco lateral tension.
Mhm.
That was aluminum.
Mhm.
And they wanted to replace that door.
It's amazing.
That's crazy. I mean, you just put 2 tabs and the lateral tension out, popped out 90% of the damage. Honestly, there was a crease down below. I did the crease killer setup on that. Done. Ready for filler. Sent it to paint.
That's the beautiful thing because we're bringing repairability back into the glue shop.
Save the door.
Yeah.
Save the OE
Everybody's
door.
so quick to knee-jerk replace.
And
Mhm.
we're taking the throwaway society that we've had, and we're being able to take this stuff and save all of it.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, by saving that door, now I didn't need to repair or blend into the fender, which means I didn't have to take the headlamp out, the bumper off, all the grill. It was a truck. So I saved myself time, the shop time, got the car back to the customer faster with a higher quality repair.
Right.
Um,
And I'm all about replacing stuff that needs to be replaced.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
sure, if it needs it,
This,
it needs
we're talking we're talking OEM says,
Yeah.
we're good to go
Yeah.
replace, if it's damaged to this amount, we're good.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of gray area in the procedures when it comes
Yeah.
to repair too, because the methods we've had before, maybe the skill set of the technician, they're just like, dude, we gotta kind of make this a blanket. Like, maybe you can, depending on the skill set of the technician, all day fix it.
Right.
But A tech here might not be as good as C tech here, so now we gotta kind of make it a little muddy,
Right.
So that
Right.
But it's coming around.
It's
Definitely
steel.
around.
Dan says it's steel. Paint is gone already, so not worried about that. Oh, okay. That does relieve you of a little bit.
Yeah.
But good luck with that, Dan.
He's got it.
If you say it's nasty, I believe you.
It's pretty nasty.
the stuff he's putting out is just like, that's not PDRable. Holy crap, he did it.
You gotta have that mindset. You're going to divide and you're going to conquer.
Yeah.
You're going to see it through.
Oh,
A lot
absolutely.
of guys give up really quick. When really, if you just persistence and you just push through it,
Hell yeah.
dude,
Commitment,
you
determination.
get it.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's going to pan out all right.
Oh yeah, like I asked those 2 guys that are brand new to this, how would they feel with the theory the presentation that you gave, and we skipped that and just sent them out here? How confident would they be? And both of them said, "No, I wouldn't know what to do." I mean, they would be screwing up on glue processing, not knowing what different tabs do what. So knowing all that stuff and approaching and attacking this with that knowledge, just I mean, it just cuts the process down in half. I would say.
It does.
No, that theory, it's obvious you guys have added things to the theory since I took the course.
Yeah.
So I learned.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
it's evolving.
Yeah,
nonstop.
it's great. Yeah.
Nonstop.
And that's the great part about Keco is they are constantly innovating and improving and everything. I love that about Keco. So that's why I will always support Keco.
You gotta stay ahead. It's always changing.
Yeah.
And, if I don't get out here and put my hands, because I'm not working on cars every single day,
Right.
but I got to make it a priority to get out here.
Do some metal time.
Got
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Got to. You disconnect if
Yep.
you don't.
Jerry Kirk says you guys are all doing great work to spread the word about the advantages of glue pull. It's a superior approach for sure. That's absolutely true. And I would like to say all just PDR techniques. We're not doing PDR, but we're using PDR techniques in the body shop for collision repair. Whether it be pushing or glue pulling, I believe it has its place in the body shop.
Yeah.
It does, absolutely.
And not everyone's going to pursue it like you guys.
Right.
There's going to be,
No.
what, 10%, 20% maybe.
Let's hope for
Maybe
more.
more. I mean, there'll probably be more as time goes on.
We're working on it here. We're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's progressing pretty quick. But it takes a mindset of, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to practice this on my own time. Because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
You got to go home and practice
You got to do your homework.
You got to do your homework.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
With that kind of stuff, absolutely. And reading the light and pushing and everything. No, absolutely you do. I will say I didn't do that with glue pulling. But I will say that it did slow me down for maybe about 9 months to a year. All the repairs I did, and I didn't have nothing but repairs. I still had tear downs. I still had reassemblies and stuff. But when I had a repair, I used glue pull every time. Yeah. Even though I knew it was going to slow me down, even if I knew I could get a hammer behind there, I was like, no, let me see what I can do with glue. And it's about practice, and that's all it was. So you can do it in the body shop, but it's going to slow you down for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
you can combat that by doing it at home.
Yeah.
And shortening that amount of time.
Or you can just do what you do, get it to a skimmable state instead of plucking out all those minute lows that you've never plucked out before.
Right.
Because you're using the light,
right.
You're using the clear coat, it's throwing you through a loop, and you're like, I'm going to try to get that little bit out, that little bit out. Before you know it, you're like, first of all.
So that's a whole different mind.
It's a different visual of the dent. That's what's kind of throwing collision guys through the loop.
Yeah.
So, that's a big thing, though. A lot of these collision shops, I mean, if they don't have the Keco system or set up yet, they don't have a light and they don't have some of these things. So they're looking to kind of add some of that, but they don't know the avenues or where to go or how to get there. And I think that's why some of these people say, well, it slows me down. I don't want to do it. It's difficult. And, we're really trying to, along with you guys, we're really trying to help create a easy path to get them from not having this stuff, to show them how to get the tools, where, what to do with them. And
there's a lot of conflicting information out there.
There is. When you dig down into the rabbit hole of the internet.
Yes, there is.
Head trash. There's a lot of head trash.
And unfortunately, we're adding to it. We're just on the internet, talking heads on the internet. But I still, we do the best we can.
Yeah. Yeah, we all do.
Got some good comments here. Lime Stalin says GPR has saved me on some aluminum panels.
Absolutely, it will.
I will tell you, I will never use the aluminum stud puller again. Glue pull is the way to move aluminum. I've proved it over and over again.
It's a superior method for sure.
Daniel says the podcast is great to keep us all informed with the latest tools of both PDR and auto body repairs. Thank you, Daniel.
Appreciate that.
Jeff, is your show oriented to push to paint or PDR or both? New techs or everything, dude?
Everything that you just mentioned, because we have a lot of PDR techs. We have a lot of collision techs. We have a lot of new guys. We have anything that has to do with the industry as far as fixing dents in general. That's who we have. So,
well, Jeff, we're happy you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in and watching. I hope you subscribe and continue. We go live every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We might skip a couple of weeks here and there, but we haven't yet.
I mean, we started out doing bi-weekly
Yeah, we did.
podcasts, and then when Mondays started coming around, we said, "Nah, man, we got to get this every week."
Yeah, Mondays where we weren't doing it came around. We were like, why aren't we doing a podcast today? You know, and so we just ended up doing it every week. But I appreciate you're here. Thank you. Limestone says, I love our Keco system. That's awesome. Did you get in-person training, Limestone? Was that beneficial to you? Because the only people I hear that love the Keco are the people who got training.
Who got the training on it.
And I'm also interested who your trainer was. He says he follows y'all on TikTok as well. Thank you.
Nice. Appreciate that.
And here's the deal. I mean, the information it's out there.
Mm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we know that some guys they want hands-on.
Yeah.
And that's what the beautiful thing about on-site training or here in OKC is you get hands-on training. I mean, the information's out there.
You know how many times I've shared your 6C video?
I mean, it's out there.
It's like 4 years old, and I've shared it so many times. People saying, what glue do you use? I can't get anything to stick. It's not about the glue. I can get craft glue to stick. It's about the process, and it's available out there for free.
It is
6C process. I
still hear guys that are, they will say, yeah, I've seen the system. It's sitting in the corner. That is the most frustrating thing ever. Knowing what we know and how well it moves metal, to hear that somebody has it sitting in the corner. I mean,
yeah, no, and I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
I hear that a lot.
It's going to be culture change. That's the whole thing. It's culture change.
I mean, even in the shops where there are training, sometimes that happens, I'm sure. Because, I mean, not everybody's as passionate about learning.
Right.
So, my personal shop, my last shop I was working in, there were a few of us that were using the Keco system right when it came. And then it was only me. And then they hired actually an old school tech who was doing some glue pulling too. He didn't follow the process and he wasn't interested in learning it, but what he could do, he was happy with, you know? So he would come over and grab it, but yeah, you're right. Stubborn. I see that a lot. But then there was another technician I was working with who wasn't into it. 1/4 panel came and I said, dude, lateral tension, a little glue pull, 99% of that is going to go away. He's like, okay, can you help me? Yeah, I'll come over. I'll help you. Luckily I was paid hourly. So I went over, gave him some lateral tension. I didn't even do it for him. I was just like, one tab here, put it between here, twist that, and it'll do your thing. And I walked away. He came back over. I was working on something. He's like, dude, it's gone. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I got to buy some glue pulling stuff.
Yeah.
So he was all into it at that point. So it's about seeing it. And that's where I think the training really comes into play. But not everybody gets their eyes opened by it. Cass says she would love some training.
Let's go.
Just contact my man right here, Danny Hacker. He'll get you set up. Yep. Hacker has talked me out of a lot of money.
Huh?
I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, you probably his money to Keco. Buying tools. I get it.
Yeah,
all well spent and worth the investment. So yeah, I get it. I didn't understand it first. If you search, you will find the information. That's right, John.
That's it.
Yeah. People don't want to do the search though. They don't want to.
I wasn't at the shop when they did the training, but the Keco store in Mustang is just 15. So you're only 15 minutes from where we are right now, Limestone, just so you know. We're here. I'm from Connecticut. He's from Mississippi. We're here for their 5-day training. It's super excited to be here. Nobody puts Keco in the corner.
No.
Oh, you're fired, by the way. Chris says you're fired.
Oh, I've been trying since I started, so thank God.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man. Well, we're coming up on an hour here, and honestly, I don't have any more guests for you guys.
Yeah, we had day 1 of training. Next Monday, we'll give you the crash course on the complete week and how it turned out, and all types of new information that we come up with. Then we should have some new videos out, new footage of the training. So yeah, be sure and keep up with that and check us out and all that good stuff. Let's see, what do we got? Day 2 tomorrow. We're doing pushing.
Start with some gluing.
Start with some gluing. doing
Mostly
some
glue the
pushing.
whole week, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of what.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
gonna
about,
do some
we've
gluing.
got a vehicle back here that's got some pretty nasty damage on it. We're going to tackle at some point, so you'll see videos of that.
We're glad to be here, Lime.
Yep, been enjoying it so far.
Hey, so yeah, I mean, I don't think we have a guest planned for next week. I mean, maybe we won't have them. Maybe we'll do an open Q&A, but maybe we'll have a guest.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we're here all week, so we'll have to do some brainstorming while we're here, see if we what we want to do for next week's show. But make sure you don't miss it. Really appreciate you all being here. We got a lot of comments, a lot of viewers, even with our technical difficulties in the beginning, which is all my fault. So that's not all that.
Right.
John says, enjoy your training, guys. If you have any questions afterwards, please ask Danny. Leave me alone. Hope to see you all in Vegas. Oh, I don't know if I'll make it this year.
I don't know if we'll make it.
It might be a little tough.
We're going to see. I mean, it's up in the air right now, but
Nothing's set in stone.
yeah.
That's for sure. That's get to PDR Expo in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know, right?
You wanna sponsor the Smash Masters to go to Las Vegas, John?
We're ready. I mean, my bags is packed now for the next trip.
Yeah, if we got sponsors, we'll be there. Wearing Dent Reaper shirts. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. It was great talking with you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Definitely.
All the other guys, it was really awesome. Vegas, baby.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Oh,
What?
he's thinking about it. He's
okay.
got all that hail money coming.
Yeah, I've been
So,
seeing him with Glidewell out there, pushing them dents.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're having a blast. All right. I'll see you all. Oh, no, we got to do the outro first. We'll see you all next time.
Yeah.
Bye,
See ya.
everyone.